Really nice. Serious business here.
This week's getaway is a little different. Not only am I about to embark on a once-in-a-lifetime journey to the mysterious North Pole, we're taking a group of kids along with us to rock their world. You think they're ready?
你现在想去北极的话，这次想看到一些什么呢？
想看这些极光啊，然后抓拍给发到微信群上，给我的微信朋友的人都看看。
As the youngest kid of the group, Wang Yidul was already cool, calm and collected.
有一点就是觉得可能会是一个挑战，是吗？
没有，
不紧张。
不紧张，我只是觉得超级激动而已。
你这次是一个人去还是和爸爸妈妈一起去呢？
我这次是跟姐姐一起去。
我觉得这至少是一次挑战吧，对我来说的话，因为还没有去过这么冷的地方，而且还带上我弟弟，所以说的话，可能这次可能和我弟弟默契会更好，而且我弟弟也肯定会长大很多。
The kids are pretty excited, but their parents are having a much harder time saying goodbye.
第一次分开这么久，而且是这个大人都不敢想象的地方，但是还是得让他们勇敢的去实现他们自己的梦想。
As the kids are ready to board, my own getaway begins once again. Going to the North Pole is also a first for me, and I couldn't be more ready to get started. So I've been filming Getaway for around 6 years, and I think this would have to be the ultimate trip so far. I mean, you can go to Africa, you can go to the edge of the Amazon, you can go to all these crazy places. But I mean, going to the North Pole, going to the Arctic, that is a dream come true. It still really hasn't soaken in because, you know, as a kid, I've always dreamed of going to such an extreme location. But I don't know, probably it'll start to sink in when we go on the frozen ocean. That's right, when we go on the icebreaker, where we have to go right through the ice. We have to break the ice open to make our path. That is when I'll know I've arrived. Can't wait, it's going to be unforgettable. After 15 hours of flying with a transfer in the middle, we finally arrived at our first destination, Iceland. Located in the North Atlantic Ocean and pretty close to the Arctic Circle, Iceland is a country full of sharp contrasts. It's a place of fire and ice, where dark winters are offset by the summer's midnight sun. The awe-inspiring landscapes and the pristine forces of nature make Iceland a truly unique place to explore. After a good sleep, our pole venture officially begins, and we're going to start from the famous Golden Circle route. The Golden Circle route, in a word, is spectacular. The wide open landscapes are like nothing you've ever seen before. Actively volcanic, this inland route combines a mass of waterfalls, geysers and lava fields. And on top of all that, a very interesting story. This is the place where democracy was born in Europe. That's right, over 1,000 years ago, this is where the first parliament or congress was held. But who held this? Pirates. The history of Iceland began in the late 9th century with a settlement of Viking explorers and their slaves fleeing from conflict in the east and seeking new land to farm. By the year 930, the overlords had established a form of governance, making it one of the world's oldest houses of parliament. Now, why was this place chosen for Congress? Well, it was the only area where people from north, south, east, west could come and meet from all directions. And they would actually come here with their tents. They'd stay here for 2 weeks. That's how long the meeting would take. But the other reason is because of this wall here. Now, this wall, I guess it was the ancient speakers, because at that time they did not have a microphone, they didn't have these speakers. So one person stood up, he'd have to have his voice resonated across the entire area. This will be used as a reflector board for the sound waves to broadcast his voice to the masses. While I was caught up in my own imagination, the kids had forgotten all about the rain and were having a ball. Our adventure continues. Beyond the old Parliament site, the Thingvellir National Park has another natural wonder that you've got to check out. Now this is an amazing geological feature because right now I'm technically standing in the middle of nowhere because this is the two plates where they intersect. On this side we have the American continental tectonic plate and the European tectonic plate here. Now these plates are slowly moving away from each other, and the fact that we're in Iceland means that Iceland is expanding 2 centimeters every year. So you can see this gap is getting larger and larger. Eventually this will probably become a huge chasm. Obviously that needs a few hundred years. The next natural wonder was just a 30-minute drive from the national park. Located in the Fjöta River Canyon in southwest Iceland, I'm heading to the famous Gullfoss waterfall. Now here is the largest waterfall in all of Iceland and one of the most beautiful waterfalls in all of Europe. I mean, look at the size of this thing. At its widest point, it gets to 2 kilometers wide, and its name is the Golden Waterfall. Now, unfortunately, because of the weather, you can't see the effect, but when the sun is here, the golden rays actually pierce through the vapor, and the entire waterfall looks like it's flowing gold. I don't know if it's true, but if you have a sunny day, shoot down here and you might get a great effect. As you can see, it's also a great place to wash your face, because the vapor is very thick. I bet a lot of you have that living on the screen right now, right? It's really nice. Bathing in the thick wall of vapor produced by this gigantic waterfall, you can really appreciate the power of water. In fact, during the 20th century, foreign investors were thinking about using the Gullfoss to generate electricity, which would have changed and destroyed the waterfall forever. Luckily, due to a lack of funding, the project fell through, and this beautiful national treasure has been left untouched ever since. The next day, we travelled to the capital city of Iceland, Reykjavik. Reykjavik may be one of the smallest capital cities in Europe, but it still packs a powerful cultural punch. The Hallgrímskirkja Church is Reykjavik's central landmark, and its tower can be seen from almost every corner of the city. The church was designed to resemble the basalt lava flows of Iceland's landscape. Despite the rain, our kids were still in high spirits, and it was extremely refreshing to see so much wildlife enjoying the abundance of nature inside the city. After a quick city tour, we found ourselves already at the port. Being a coastal city, Reykjavik also offers a dearth of exciting seaborne activities, but for us, it's time to board our Arctic cruise ship. Alright, it's adventure time. We're pioneering off to the Arctic Circle. But we're not taking a plane, we're not taking a train, we're taking this. The ship cruises to some of the most remote places on the planet. Launched in 2007, the ship spends the Northern Hemisphere's warmer months in the Arctic waters, exploring mysterious lands of the North Pole. While from November through to February, the ship takes passengers to the South Pole in the austral summer. As the ship sets sail, our North Pole adventure has officially commenced. After a night of sailing, we came to our first port stop, Ísafjörður. Ísafjörður, meaning Icefjord, is a town in the northwest of Iceland. With a population of about 2,600, Ísafjörður is the largest town in the Westfjords Peninsula. The town has a long history, and for centuries it was a major centre of commerce and trading, all based on fish. Isafjorda is a haven for outdoor activities. It offers a wide range of optional excursions with different levels of difficulty. Today, the kids and I are signing up for a rather difficult excursion. We're going to conquer the Troll's Seat. Local legend has it that a huge troll that went for a stroll in the fjord sat down to take a rest on top of a big mountain. The troll was so heavy that as it sat down, it squashed part of the mountainside, leaving behind a visible indentation, which has since become a very popular hiking route for guests and locals alike. While the hike isn't very long, it's pretty steep. There's no designated path to follow, but the terrain is excellent for hiking and offers a good mixture of grass, soil and rocky paths. Now the locals say that these flowers, tiny flowers on the side of the rock face, you can eat them, but don't swallow them. They're just for a little burst of energy. Yeah. Oh, good. Make sure you spit it out. All right, let's go. Ah! How high do you think we're going up?
235 meters, maybe.
And what's the elevation? Is it like, it looks pretty steep, I mean.
Yeah, it is.
The beautiful views along the way are due compensation for the hard climb. I think one of the amazing aspects of this climb is that the air gets so fresh up here. I mean, if you need a medical checkup, don't go to the hospital, come here. It'll clear out your nasal passages, and it is amazing. And the great thing about this is we're actually in an enclosure, so this is a bay, the water comes in, but literally we're surrounded by mountains. It's almost like you're in the troll's house. I mean, they say this was the troll's seat, right? But I mean, it really does feel like a throne. And the kingdom is right in front of me. While on the summit, I took a chance to chat with our guide. So now we're right in the seat. We're in the throne.
We're in the troll seat, yes.
And we're in the high enough altitude to have snow still falling, which is good. This snow has been around for a while, right? It doesn't...
Not everything will melt.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the port. And then I can see an airstrip. That's interesting. Is that still in use?
Yes, it is. This is actually one of the most difficult airports in Europe.
Isafjorda was founded on the fishing industry, and the town has one of the largest fisheries in Iceland. We paid a visit to a local maritime museum, which turned out to be a great place to sample some truly Icelandic delicacies. While it was already time to get back on the ship, no one was in a rush to leave here, making the most of every last minute on land.
Check out these upcoming World War II themed blockbusters. 7-time Academy Award winner, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Across the Pacific, starring Humphrey Bogart.
All right, Doc?
Yes.
The Desert's Wrath, starring Richard Burton.
Quickly now!
Don't miss the blockbuster bonanza, only on ICS.
每次刷新是2个人的甜蜜，3个人的幸福。刷新的不仅是家，更是爱的幸福开始。立邦为你刷新生活。
我饿了。不 不在状态，神丢了。还好有脉动，脉动富含维生素群，让你随时脉动回来。
真正美的秀发绝不只靠表面，还要靠潘婷深入发心。
全新升级潘婷，超越表面修护，新 Pro-V 维他命原配方，深入发心，配方修护损伤，
内在强韧，外在柔亮。
全新升级潘婷。
麦芽的香气。
行家呀，尝尝我自创的拔丝煎面。
这个面甜到掉牙了。
是你牙齿不好吧，大叔？是的。
我知道，吃完来2粒。
我就要吃，爱牙有益达，吃完喝完嚼益达。普通洗面奶洗完会紧绷，还不快用！全网销量爆款，优雅男士控油不紧绷，含墨角藻精华，舒润洁面，温和控油不紧绷。妮维雅男士，迈出你的第一步。
真的有这么丝滑吗？
德芙总想心丝滑。
很多孩子都没来，现在有很多像肺炎和禽流感这样的健康威胁，细菌越变越强了。
先进卫宝含的 ANS 能有效对抗更强的变异细菌。先进卫宝。
纽约潮装芭比大眼，我轻松玩转。全新美宝莲芭比大眼睫毛膏，来自美宝莲纽约，创新超轻语感纤维，韧性长，轻盈柔密。全新美宝莲芭比大眼睫毛膏，美就现在。
时空穿梭，交汇于一瞬，我们与你分享时光长河里的点滴美好。Welcome to Mac Collections。
Back on the open sea, we're finally approaching the Arctic Circle. To mark this epic milestone, we were welcomed by none other than Neptune, who presented us with a chilling Arctic Circle initiating ceremony.
What's going to happen? Oh, it's going down! It's a killer! Oh, wow. Bottoms up! So this is a unique ceremony to commemorate us entering into the Arctic Circle, because Neptune himself has come onto the boat and welcomed us in a very icy manner. Now, he said he's not pleased with the weather that he's been given. We've had smooth sailing and none of us have got seasick, so he's going to see what he can do to rough up some bad weather and get us real pain and real feel of this Arctic Ocean. But they put ice down your back, shiver up your spine, and then at the end, a nice drink to soften the mellow. I'm already feeling it. Bottoms up. Skål!
And our kids finally gathered up the courage to take on the ice. I mean, you only live once, right? As time went on, the game started getting wilder and wilder. I decided to up the ante and take on the entire bucket.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you. Very nice.
Sailing to the North Pole also means endless days of open ocean as far as the eye can see. So to make use of this gift of time, the crew has all sorts of activities and interesting lectures planned to keep us from going crazy. Today, the kids have been invited to the captain's cabin to learn how a cruise ship actually works. and of course feel what it's like to sit in the captain's seat.
Yeah!
After 4 days at sea, we're finally approaching the first landing point of our North Pole adventure. That's right, we're going to take these small landing crafts to set foot on one of the most isolated islands in the world. Now, the kids are preparing for their first landing. Safety is paramount for every excursion. To ensure an efficient escape in an emergency, or to escape a polar bear, life vests must be worn at all times, even on land. Yes. All right, here we go. After 10 minutes of crashing through waves, land is finally within reach. Here we go. We've arrived.
So to be able to come on this island, it's extremely rare because normally the conditions are so harsh, the wind is so strong that it prevents the boats from coming out here and docking. But now we're so lucky we had a break in the storm and we can get on here. Now for me, this is the first time I've ever set foot in the Arctic Circle on land, so it's a milestone to me. Let's explore.
As more crafts came to shore, our kids also made it to the island safely. And without any hesitation, they started to explore immediately. Visiting an Arctic island is something very unique in itself, so there are some basic rules that must be adhered to.
Now, one thing to remember when you come to any Arctic island is that the natural fauna on here is completely protected. If you see a beautiful flower, there's no way by law that you are entitled to pick it. You must keep it in its original surroundings, including rocks. So this is an amazing volcanic rock, the lava stone, would serve as a fantastic souvenir, but there's no taking of anything on this island. Keep it where it is, take a photo, that's enough, but let it lie.
Located in the North Atlantic Ocean, this volcanic island is named Jan Mayen. The view of the island is pretty much dominated by the volcano Beerenberg, which is still active and had its last eruption in 1985.
Now, back in the early 6th century, it is said that an Irish monk stumbled across this island during his voyage, and what he saw was this black island that was bellowing in fire, and what he thought was the gate to hell. Now, I'm standing on here right now, and I can see this place indeed is covered in black. It is the volcanic ash from all the eruptions in the past. But I'm not sure the devil's waiting for me here. Let's go see if we can find him.
In the early times, this island was only visited occasionally by seal hunters. Now there are only 18 inhabitants living on this isolated island to maintain the small but important infrastructure here. The first landing was a major success. It's time to head back onto the ship, and I think this pole venture is already proving to be pretty amazing. On the boat, the kids took part in some Arctic science lectures. Pole Ventures is an elite summer-winter camp for excelling children in China. They bring kids to some of the most extreme places in the world to help enrich their life.
其实去年我12月份第一次就是完成了人生中间的南极之旅。后来到那里去以后发现，哎呀，南极不像我们想象的那么危险，看到的是很多的这些自然保护啊，然后也看到了很多人文的历史。当时回来的路上，我们就萌发了这种想法，我觉得中国除了大家都去美国啊、英国这些地方去的时候，就现在小朋友们，其实青少年，尤其是一些更愿意探索科学的这样的小朋友们去南北极啊，有的可能对他们来说人生收获会特别大。这个真的是对于中国的青少年来讲，可能是他们影响一生的一次行动啊。所以我们这次把它付诸实现了。
Mr. Zhang is a firm believer that nature is the best classroom for kids to learn about the planet in which they live.
就是到了北极之后呢，我们甚至在考虑在船上我们怎样去了解这个船的动力呀，然后以及孩子们可能会感兴趣的这些动物啊，各种火山啊、岩石啊，对他们来讲可能都是一个比较神秘的。然后其实这也是包含了一个很简单的一些科学的知识。在这个过程中间，我们准备了一系列的课程，就想把这个课程呢，随着他们看到的东西回到船上，我们还可以去学到一些基本的启蒙知识。
While everything is well planned, the North Pole is still a place beyond imagination. So for parents, the most important thing is, of course, safety.
大部分中国人可能对于北极和南极都觉得它特别，要不然特别冷是吧？要不然就特别危险啊。其实你坐在这个船上，你可以感觉到啊，就是整个这个行程其实是特别安全的，尤其是整个这个行程中间的这个船务啊，可能对于这些安全都有很多年的经验，而且各个方面其实他们想的都蛮周到的，远比我们想象的这个不是一个冒险的旅程。其实大可放心了，就是更多的这些孩子，任何的年龄都可以走这个行程。我觉得对他们来讲，其实年龄大的孩子呢，他们可能收获比较多的知识；年龄小的孩子呢，我觉得收获比较多的是这个经历。尤其这些孩子们在一起哈，我们可以看到，虽然年龄上有一点点差别哈，但是很快我觉得他们的知识和他们的兴趣都会融入在一起。大孩子和小孩子都一起完成这么一次艰难的航行啊，但是也充满了快乐。
As time passes on, the kids are getting along better and better. Today is the 8th birthday of Wang Zikun, one of the youngest kids in the camp, and he has no idea of what's in store. There was also an unexpected letter all the way from China.
宝贝，这是第一次妈妈不能陪你过生日，但是没关系，有那么多老师，那么多小朋友陪着你，你会有一个难忘的回忆。
爸爸，我要给大家说谢谢你们。
While this summer camp is only halfway through, our kids have already developed a close bond with each other. Next time, follow Getaway to continue our journey north. See you then.